Yeah, welcome to Rob Schmitt Tonight. IRS whistleblower Gary Shapley gave CBS News another explosive interview last night, alleging that even before Biden and Merrick Garland came into power, Shapley, the supervisory agent in the IRS investigation into Hunter Biden's tax and corruption scheme, was very restricted, not allowed to investigate anything with the potential to incriminate Joe Biden. An incredible level of obstruction to protect a political elite and his family. Biden is quite obviously corrupt and was manipulating his son to help him pull millions of dollars out of various foreign entities in adversarial countries like China, and then apparently laundering millions to 9 different Biden family members and cheating the IRS out of at least $2.2 million in revenue in the process. Gary Shapley was clearly aware he was hot on the trail of the biggest political scandal in American history before the White House directed Garland to remove Shapley and his entire team from the case. Big scandal. But last night, Shapley indicated that the obstruction of his investigation by partisan actors at the Department of Justice was actually happening even while Bill Barr was the United States Attorney General.
Before President Biden took office, he was directed to avoid leads involving Hunter's father.
There were certain investigative steps that we weren't allowed to take that could have led us to President Biden.
And you wanted to take them?
We needed to take them.
And you weren't allowed to take them?
That's correct.
So the most notable claim from Shapley revolves around the text message Hunter sent to Chinese communist Henry Zhao, saying he's with his father and they wanted their money. 9 days later, they got paid $5 million from China, laundered through various accounts, eventually ending up in a Biden LLC. Shapley wanted to determine whether Joe Biden was in fact home on July 30th, 2017, when Hunter sent that text message. From his testimony to Congress, when agents saw this in late August, September of 2020, we went to the prosecutors. We said, we got to ask questions about this. We got to figure this out. We got to, what's going on with this? And the response was no, we're not going to do it. That happened under Bill Barr, and the protection of Joe Biden's corruption would continue after he became president with Merrick Garland. From people like Assistant District Attorney Leslie Wolf, who would allegedly say she didn't want to read anything or see anything about Dad, about the big guy, anything about Joe Biden at all. It points to the rot that exists just beneath the surface of government, the permanent bureaucracy that remains as different presidential administrations come and go. Removing these partisans is a central part of Donald Trump's reelection platform. From NBC earlier this spring, Trump released a list of proposals to take down what many conservatives believe is a secret cabal of government workers who would wield enormous power and work against Republicans. Many seemed personal, tied to Trump investigations, past and present. These are the deviants who saw Trump as an existential threat to D.C. bureaucracy, which he is, and have been attacking him constantly for 7 years. If Trump gets back in the White House, he wants to eviscerate that rot. Trump wants to bring back what's called Schedule F, making federal employees at will, easier to fire if caught doing the bidding of the Democrat-aligned establishment. At his first rally in March, Trump got to the heart of one of the biggest threats to this country, a government bureaucracy that sees our freedoms as a liability and is working every day to subvert your will and the intentions of our founding fathers, who wanted a limited government that serves the people rather than ruling over them.
Either the deep state destroys America or we destroy the deep state. That's the way it's got to be.
It's as simple as that. Now, at this point, whether you believe Trump's defense on the classified documents or not in this Iran document, it doesn't really matter. It's simply a fact that nobody in Washington cares at all about classified documents or how our political elites handle them until their mishandling was a useful way to destroy Trump. It's just true. On the leaked audio, Trump even jokes about documents from Hillary somehow winding up on notorious pedophile pervert Anthony Weiner's laptop. The establishment goons, all hyperventilating over this alleged Iran document, are actually able to hear Trump in this audio pointing out their hypocrisy. And they steamroll right over that and demand that Trump go to prison for the rest of his life. Americans are smarter than this. Of course they are. This ploy won't work no matter how desperately they want it to, because they've tried this like 1,000 times. Oddly enough, that Iran document that alleges that Trump allegedly showed off at Bedminster, it can't be located. Also, Trump's not being charged for that document. It's like the most explosive part of the entire case. They can't find it. They're not charging him for it. And it explains perfectly why the audio was leaked, because they don't care if it gets thrown out. It's not a part of the case, even though it's literally the only damning thing that they have. This leak was done quite literally to convict Trump in the court of public opinion, just to hurt him politically again. That's all they care about. They just want to keep punching at him. Just stay down. Stay out of here. Again, if he would quit and stop doing politics, this would all go away. That is the truth. Jack Smith is going to lose this case. He knows it. He already wants to push it back from August to December. Remember how they wanted to fast track it? Now he wants a 4-month delay? Because all he really has that hasn't also been committed in a more egregious fashion by Joe Biden, Hillary Clinton, and many others is Trump messing with the National Archives and annoying them, messing and annoying the Department of Justice, screwing around with them. You don't throw an ex-president and current lock for 2024 nominee in prison because he irritated the DOJ and didn't give him the boxes back, what he said he would. It's the same story again. The machine turning everything this man does into an existential threat to democracy, and then all the shills jump on MSNBC and talk about how dangerous he is. Even though everybody that they know has probably done the same thing. Biden stole him from a skiff and held him for 30 years. Nobody cares. All the lunatics screaming, they got him this time. After this many years, how boring, how predictable this has all become. Meanwhile, Joe Biden's past is what we should really be focusing on at this point. Not Trump's. The guy sitting in the White House right now. But Biden has always been insulated from scandal. How easy it would be to turn everything Joe Biden does into a scandal. How easy it would be if the media would just go along to turn him into the villain. It'd be so simple. They just don't do it. Today, the president showed he can handle no scrutiny at all over his own past. As he got one iota of what Trump's dealt with for 7 years, he became enraged at a reporter for asking him a very, very well-deserved question. Here it was.
President Biden, how involved were you in your son's Chinese shakedown text message? Were you sitting there? Were you involved?
No, I wasn't, and I don't know.
Were you?
No.
Imagine if Trump just yelled no like that at a reporter. They'd talk about it for 9 hours on CNN. It's undeniable at this point. We can all see what this man has done. The evidence is everywhere. It's all around us. It doesn't matter whether or not they report it. It's all over the place. We have the internet now. You got us. And he looked scared, yelling at a reporter. He's angry. How dare you call me out? I run this country, not you. He's a dictator. And while Joe Biden is in a tough spot with a mountain of corruption evidence surrounding him, imagine the DNC right now staring down 2024 with an incumbent falling apart so fast he now needs a breathing machine when he sleeps, which the White House admitted today after Biden was shown with marks all over the side of his face, right in this area. We saw the picture. What are they thinking? There's no backup plan either. You either have this corrupt, withering fool who's gutting your country, or the cackling robot VP with the worst approval in American history. Tough choice.